In the classic science fiction short story All You Zombies, by Robert A. Heinlein, first published in Fantasy and Science Fiction magazine in 1959, a fascinating paradox involving transsexual time travel is explored. The story begins in November 1970 at a bar called Pop's Place, where the bartender, who is also a professional time traveler or temporal agent, narrates the tale. One evening, a 25-year-old man walks into the bar, known as the Unmarried Mother, due to an advice column he writes under a female pseudonym. The unmarried mother is already tipsy, and the bartender pours him a drink, leaving the bottle with him. Curious about the unmarried mother's mysterious past, the bartender engages in conversation and complements his skill with the woman's angle in his articles. The unmarried mother cryptically suggests that the bartender wouldn't believe him if he knew the truth about his experiences. Intrigued, the bartender bets him a bottle of whiskey that he won't be shocked. The unmarried mother begins by revealing that he himself is a bastard, and the bartender admits that his own family members have never married. The unmarried mother notices the wedding ring on the bartender's hand and questions its purpose. The bartender explains that it keeps women at bay, sharing that another time traveler obtained it for him in ancient Crete. Shifting the focus back to the unmarried mother, he explains that he was born a girl in 1945 and raised in an orphanage. Determined to provide his own children with proper parents, the unmarried mother anticipated difficulties in finding a partner due to his perceived unattractiveness. At 18, he became a caregiver while attending night school, hoping to join the military auxiliary organization known as the WENCHES, also called the Space Angels. By joining, he could undergo cosmetic surgery and training to improve his appearance and social skills. Most Space Angels eventually married astronauts. However, instead of joining the Space Angels, the unmarried mother became involved with a wealthy man who professed love, but disappeared afterward. It was then that the unmarried mother discovered he was pregnant. Losing his caregiver job and rejected by the Space Angels, he went through pregnancy in a charity clinic and gave birth to a baby girl. During the delivery, it was discovered that the unmarried mother, now identified as Jane, had both male and female sexual organs. Due to complications, the doctors saved only the male parts. A month later, Jane's baby was kidnapped, and she never saw the child again. After several surgeries, Jane emerged as a male, but lacked experience for traditionally male jobs. He worked as a fry cook and a stenographer, before stumbling upon a career in writing true confession stories. Sharing this shocking life story, the unmarried mother receives the promised bottle of whiskey from the bartender. Intrigued by the unmarried mother's tale, the bartender offers to take him to meet the man who impregnated him, proving his knowledge by mentioning the names of the orphanage directors. However, he makes a condition. The young man must accept a lucrative job offer. Drunk and enticed, the young man agrees. The bartender leads him to the bar's storeroom, where they find a suitcase-sized time machine. After activating it, they find themselves in Cleveland in April 1963. The bartender informs the young man that his betraying lover is nearby and urges him to confront him. Once the young man leaves, the bartender locks the door. He then travels to March 1964, steals baby Jane from a hospital clinic, and takes her to September 1945, leaving her at the orphanage where she will grow up. Returning to April 1963, the bartender witnesses the unmarried mother, now Jane, bidding farewell to the young Jane after kissing her goodnight. As they walk away, the bartender and the unmarried mother walk side by side, and the bartender cryptically states, "Now you know who he is, and after you think it over you'll know who you are." They proceed to travel forward in time to the Temporal Bureau's underground bunker in the Rockies in August 1985, where the young man is assigned a sleeping quarters. The next morning, he will sign up for the time agent job, which will eventually lead him to become the bartender. The bartender, now alone, time jumps back to Pop's place in November 1970. By chance, the jukebox plays "I'm My Own Grandpa" as a playful nod to the intricate time paradox. Leaving a letter of resignation in the cash register, the bartender retrieves the whiskey bottle he won and lost during the bet. Returning to the storeroom, he jumps to the Rockies bunker in January 1993. Settling in his quarters, he takes a sip from the bottle and begins writing his report. As he undresses for bed, he gazes at the cesarean scar still visible under his hairy belly, longing for his previous self, when he was known as Jane. Despite the complexities and changes he has undergone, he finds solace in the knowledge of his identity. With a bittersweet reflection, the bartender finishes his report, concluding this enigmatic tale.